Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Dragon Quest Builders. My name is Soy Milk and welcome to the channel. So what is this channel all about? Well, we'll be doing a sort of review but in two parts. The first part being your traditional review where we'll be talking about story, gameplay, you know, all the stuff you usually see in a regular review but in a pretty compact form. Also, I'll be giving it a personal review score from 1 to 10. This score might change over time depending on how I feel. This is the first video of the series, so let's see where this takes us. The second part of the review will be doing the part of the Platinum Trophy. So basically what the point of the Platinum Journey review is the game worth going for the Platinum? So there are games where they'll be super fun, super awesome to play, and sometimes the trophies are just not worth going for, especially if you're trying to get all of them for the Platinum. A great case for this is the Far Cry games. If I say it on top of my head, there's a lot of online trophies there, so you need to fight people in multiplayer. It could take a very long time. It could be very grindy. So we'll see if Dragon Quest Builders is that game. It is not. It is really not that kind of game. Everything is single player for this game. So let's get into the first part of the review. Let's talk about the plot. So I believe that this game starts during Dragon Quest 1 or something like that. The Dragon Lord started taking over and offered the hero a chance for him to join. And in this game, the hero actually said, you know what, hell yeah, I'm actually going to join the Dragon Lord instead of saying no. And basically he goes on his conquest and everything gets destroyed, humanity is gone. The Dragon Lord has infinite reign and the Dragon Lord is basically destroying humanity. Since the hero is out of commission, the Dragon Lord starts destroying humanity completely since the hero is out of commission, and he removes humanity's will to build. And this is basically like the last check mark on his list of destroying hope, pretty much. Cue the main protagonist. We are the legendary builder, and we are here to bring back humanity back to where it once was, one block at a time. As humanity right now does not need a hero, but someone who can inspire humanity to rebuild itself and pave the way for the next generation of heroes. The game starts off with a voice in our head, waking us up from an eternal slumber. This voice leads us through a short tutorial showing you how the game works at a very basic level. So after learning how to craft, you learn how to break and place blocks, your traditional Minecraft-esque game. We are eventually taken out of the cave and we are given a flag that we bring to the place where you put the flag, and then it lets us build the town. We are greeted with a character called Pippa. She is our first resident and she'll be giving us some quests for us to complete, one of which being a quest to build a room. She will tell you to add 2 beds, 1 source of light, and to plug in the walls with dirt, and voila, your house is built. You built your first home. Now, as you can see, this actually turns into a facility. When you complete the building, it'll say that you built a bedroom, whatever, and it'll say that it'll give your villagers a percentage buff to the villagers' health. And this is what sets Dragon Quest apart from, well, I'll say it, Minecraft. Because yes, the games look very similar. Minecraft is first person, this is not first person, so that's obviously a key takeaway. But this game does things quite differently. See, the buildings you complete have a sort of shopping list per se. And when they are completed, you create that building. If you build a kitchen, like so, the villagers will actually cook food and put it into a chest. You could also use the kitchen yourself. If you build a dressing room, the NPCs will change their clothes, but also this upgrades them in times of combat to have better and better weapons. So this is very important to do. There are many different types of facilities you can craft, each leading to their own unique bonuses. I will also leave a link to a list of buildings and what buffs they give to your NPCs. Now, you don't need to use this list to get the platinum or beat the game. If you really want to, go all out and get your villagers as buffed as possible, you might like to know this. So here you go. You will also notice that when you build these rooms, that you have an XP level bar that also goes up. You will be asked to level your town in order to progress through the story at certain parts of the game. And one of the trophies that we'll talk later on is to get the quest town to a certain level. And basically you're gonna have to bring it to the max level. I think the max level is like 5, maybe 4 for the last one. It's very obvious on what you need to do. But don't forget that the game isn't just building stuff. You need to go out and adventure and find new materials. Monsters roam the land, and hell yeah, this is a Dragon Quest game, so the monster design is actually pretty damn cool. I've always loved the art style of Dragon Quest. It has the same art style as Dragon Ball, and the cartoony look is amazing. This is the type of art style that will look good even like 20 years down the line. It still looks good because of the cartoony cool graphics. It has its own little like spin on it. You got your slimes, you got your chimeras, you got your little hammer bros, and even this little snail monster thing that really freaks me out. But they all look good. Now in terms of combat, all the monsters kind of act the same, as in they'll just like run right at you and try to melee you. And if they have magic stuff, they'll shoot magic spells at you or shoot arrows or whatever. It's very, very basic combat. The only thing that really matters is what the monsters drop in sources of materials. You will craft better and better weapons and equipment, which will help you fight the monsters and kill them faster. You will also learn a special move called the Spin Slash at one point into the story. Well, actually, it's right at the beginning. This is great for gathering materials and combat. But for some reason, the quest that you get it is the only quest that gives you combat ability, which I was kind of like hoping to see just maybe like a few more, maybe one per act. But that was not the case. You get the spin attack. It's awesome for gathering ore, but yeah, that basically sums up the combat. You're just striking away, and yeah, that's about it. For combat, I like to do this jump attack thing where I dodge and move at the same time. This basically makes it so I'm like dodging and attacking. If I really do this properly, I'll take no damage at all. This is very good in situations where things are getting a little bit tough. Anyways, as you do more and more quests and recruit other villagers, they will task you into making things that will take different materials. The starting zone is a giant island with its own set of materials, and as you progress, you will be able to use portals, which there are 3 of. So there are 4 zones with 3 portals. You start off in the first one and you find the other 3 with the portals, which lead you to new zones, and you can gather new materials because each zone has like its own little material thing, so you need to go out and find them. And this is basically the loop of the game. You're going to be collecting as much stuff as you possibly can and build whatever the villagers really ask you to do. The villagers themselves are pretty different with their own personalities, like Rollo. He's hiding in a dirt hole when I found him, and he's kind of crazy. Peppa, who is the first villager, just wants to help people as much as she can, and she's sweet. And there's this other guy who's like the blacksmith. His name's Magnus. He looks pretty badass. They all have their own little twists, but you know, there's nothing crazy here, right? As you would expect. As you complete missions, you will be tasked to defend the village against waves of enemies, as the boss of the area is sending them to destroy you. So as we beat the waves and we go through the quest and we collect all the stuff that we need, you're eventually going to go up against the final boss. And I'm only going to cover the first boss. I'll show some stuff when I get into the platinum side of the trophies. But for the first boss, you're fighting the gold. And prior to fighting this boss, you are tasked to create a shield called the Shield of Cantlin, which is an item that you're going to have to use in order for you to beat the boss. Every single chapter, you're going to have this theme where you're going to have to build an item in order for you to fight the boss, as it makes sense as you are the builder. So you go through the boss fight. It's very easy. It's kind of obvious. You kind of just use the shield when he starts spinning and all that. You shouldn't have too hard of a time of figuring it out. And then you'll eventually beat him by draining his health. The village of Cantlin is now saved from the Demon Lord. And everyone in the village is super happy, especially bro, like, Jesus Christ. He needs to like keep a little distance there. This guy's always way too close to my face, man. This guy has no judgment of space. And this is the end of chapter 1. You take the portal, you go to chapter 2. There are 4 chapters. The second chapter, you're kind of like in a poison village kind of thing. And the whole mechanic is trying to bring people back from being sick. And the third one is kind of like a bodybuilding spa thing where you go and you're trying to save their leader, Barbalina. It's the bar, it's the, you know, it's It's the bodybuilders from Dragon Quest. You're like helping them out. And then the fourth and final zone is you destroying the Dragon Lord. That's basically the story there. Now I'm just gonna skip to the fourth chapter. The fourth chapter is pretty cool because you're gonna get help from all the villagers from the previous chapters. So you're gonna get help from our good friend Mr. Bo here to help us defeat the Dragon Lord. With the help of these villagers, we are tasked in making the legendary armor and the legendary weapon in order for us to beat the Dragon Lord. After we finish that and we complete other side quests, we build the Rainbow. You are teleported to the Dragon Lord's castle for the final showdown. This is a two-part battle. The first being a battle between the Dragon Lord and his shadow clones. After doing the necessary damage, you will then trigger the second part of the battle, where the Dragon Lord turns into his true form, a giant dragon. Who would have known? Now, I'll have to say that this final battle is actually not that bad. It's pretty fun. You lose all your items, so everything you built to this point goes away. And periodically, your friends are like being teleported here and they're sending you stuff. They're like helping you. So everyone that you met from before are going to help you with this final battle. They're going to give you the items necessary for you to beat the Dragon Lord. There's some cues from the other bosses from the past chapters, and by going through it, you're going to beat the boss by doing enough damage as you usually do. Once you defeat the Dragon Lord, you save the world from the darkness, and everyone's happy, and you beat the game. That more or less sums up the game. And it's very basic and easy to understand. I'm not trying to make this too long. And to be honest, a game kind of like Minecraft where you build stuff, it's kind of different to have a little bit of a story to go with it, because usually these games don't really have a story at all. Well, now there's so many ripoffs of Minecraft, it's kind of hard to defend that point. But yeah, the combat is very basic. The building is okay too. Everything's fine. I'm gonna give this game a 7 out of 10. I did have fun going through it. It's not my kind of game, so maybe someone would rank it higher. For sure, someone that likes this style of game would definitely enjoy this more. And what I would like to see in a sequel, which I know there is one, and I did not look to see what changes have been. I'm gonna get to it eventually. I really wish the builder would learn more special moves, like I stated before, so other than just a spin attack. And I would also have liked it if I was able to assign villagers to do certain jobs. Like example, I want you to focus on cooking, and I want you to focus on doing the furniture and the smithing. It would have been kind of cool to, assign them jobs. Oh, and one last thing, one thing that kind of like ticks me off, when you're fighting the waves of monsters and then the monsters keep coming, I really wish I was able to call back my villagers, because I would, like in Act 1, and I'm sure this happened to you guys, in Act 1, you would set up all your traps and all that, and then your villagers would just rush the enemies, and then no one's going in the traps. The traps are basically useless because the villagers take all the aggro. It's literally like Leroy Jenkins in that one World of Warcraft video. Now for the trophy section, which is my favorite part. I'm gonna rank these right away. So basically, if it's worth doing or not. And to start off, this game is an 8 out of 10 in terms of trophies. It is super fun, super easy to do. Let me get into it. This game will take you about 25 to 30 hours. There's no huge grind, and you don't really need to follow a guide, so that is a huge bonus. That's what I try to look for in trophies, is I like to have it where I can play the game without having to look at spoilers, without having to track anything, and then I could clean things up at the end. This is that case. So while you're doing this game, you're going to be doing this in one playthrough and a half, maybe. Let me explain why. So usually whenever I talk trophies, I'm going to show you the trophies as they pop up when I get them. I am never really going to mention too much about the story trophies. There are only 4. You get these by just doing the 4 main chapters of the game. You cannot miss these by beating the game, so I'm not going to talk over them. But the main focus, if you're going for the platinum, is the challenges within the actual chapters. Each act has a speedrun challenge, making you beat them within a certain amount of days. This is super easy, so don't freak out. I know every time we talk about speedrun challenges, these things can get a little bit dicey. This is not the case. This is pretty damn easy. Now, when you're going for the speedrun challenge, I don't recommend you doing them within the first 2 acts. You can, and when I say act, I also mean chapter. They mean chapters in the game, but act and chapter are the same thing. So just so you guys know. So the reason why I don't recommend you guys to do the first 2 acts within the speedrun challenge is so that way you learn the game and you get familiar with it. But you easily could do this. I decided to do the first 2 chapters normally, taking my time, enjoying the game. But I really think I easily could have done it. I could have done the speedrun challenge without having to worry. All you have to do is not go to bed. Don't go to sleep. At night, monsters come out at night. You just ignore them and you move on. But I recommend you to start doing the speedrun challenge on Act 3. You just do what the quests tell you to do and you go right through it. A very good tool that I used was from this website called PlayStation Trophies. If you're a trophy hunter, we all know what I'm talking about here. There is a list that they give us. You follow this list, it'll tell you what you need within each zone. So if you're collecting stone, you know how many you need approximately to be able to build what you need to be able to finish the speedrun. What's really cool about this game is that when you do the challenges, you just have to do them once. You don't have to do them all in one go. So in Act 1, I could do all the other challenges that take time, beat the act, and then reset from the beginning, and then do the speedrun challenge, and then everything will be completed at the same time. So I don't have to go back. I don't have to do anything twice. You do it once and you got it forever. When it comes to doing the speedrun challenge first, make sure that you save after you beat the final boss of the chapter. Because if you do not, you will not be able to reload your chapter to be able to finish the other quests. I messed this up on chapter 4. I had to restart the whole thing from scratch. So please keep that in mind. So I'm briefly going to go over the act challenges that you're going to be doing. I'm going to try and talk through these pretty quickly. And I will also reference the PlayStation Trophy website. If you follow their guide, it's going to be very good. I'm going to talk through them very quickly here, so that way you guys can get a little idea of what I'm talking about. So the first 2 challenges is the speed run, and then the second challenge is to get the maximum level of the town for every single chapter. You got to do those 2 on all the chapters, all the acts, and I'm not going to be explaining them because they're very obvious. I'm going to be talking about the specific things within each act. So Act 1, you're going to need to defeat the 3 dragons. There is one southwest of the starting zone. In the blue portal, once you find the castle, there is a dragon beyond the castle. That is the second. And for the third, it is northwest of the red portal. Kill all 3. Now to build the Cantlin Garden. This one drove me nuts. I hated this one so much because it's so specific and I had to do this 3 times. It took me about 50 minutes to get this done. So let me explain this as best as I can because it's a little bit confusing. Gather all the materials listed here. The flowers and plants are gathered by using the shovel. And the annoying part is that you need to have water in the room. I believe it's 8 blocks total or more. And the goddamn plumberry tree, whatever the hell the tree is called. But the problem is that the tree, you cannot plant it because you cannot grow trees that are not within your town. So since the water is out of your town, you're gonna have to find a tree that is fully grown. A good way to do this is to find a little forest area and build it there if there's water. From what I could understand, the best way to do it is to look for a tree that has plum berries that have fallen underneath it, because that means that the tree is fully grown and then the plum berries have dropped, so I know it's a fully grown tree. Complete the building blueprint and you are good. The next challenge is to complete the Hammerhood Graveyard. You will find the recipe from the red portal. You go north and you should eventually find an island with a hammerhead who will give you the recipe. Then go into the blue portal, go southwest, and give the hammerhead guy the 2 gravestones to complete the challenge, finishing chapter 1. Now for chapter 2. Chapter 2 will make you fix this mansion's roof. So in the blue portal, you probably found this because it's so humongous. You will find a huge home to the west of the portal. It's huge. Go to the roof and look for the chest to start the quest. You gotta fix the roof. He's gonna give you the pieces, you just fix the roof. It's that easy. For this next challenge, supposedly this is a pain in the ass, but I got this within my second fishing attempt, so here you go. From the red portal, you should find a slime landmark with water. Use a fishing rod to fish out the king slime and beat him. Supposedly he's super rare. I got him very early, so I cannot say. And then the last one is to answer all these Thalmus quiz thingy-majiggies. There are 4 puzzles. The first one is near where you find the old man in Act 2, the one that's like the alchemist guy. Just keep moving around the island and you'll find it. This is so obvious, you just got to make the 2 rooms identical and you're good. It's going to give you a block. Save the block. The second one is located west of the blue portal. Keep going west until you find it here. You will need a palm seedling, so cut down a tree, cut down the trunk, get the seedling and plant it there. You are good. The third one is in the red portal, where you find the giant castle. Just head east from there and you should find it after a while. Just change the clock here to 3 o'clock and that's it. The fourth one is in the green portal, head south. And basically you just got to put the colored blocks that they give you in this order and you're done. Congratulations, Act 2 is done. Now for Act 3. So the first challenge, it's pretty obvious. You got to take out the giant trolls, you got to take out the giants. There's 4 in total. I'm going to go through this quick. The first troll is south to the base. The second troll is in the castle area of the first portal you create. He is right beside Barbolina. He's very easy to find. And the first giant is northwest of the red portal. He is huge, so you shouldn't miss him. And the last one is where the igloos are. The one where you had to find the thing in the igloo. You got to kill the last one there and you're good. These guys are very dangerous, by the way, so be careful. Now for the next one, you'll be tasked on making the spectacular spot. This might take you a bit of time, but it's pretty good. So to find the blueprint, go southeast from the last portal you create and keep looking for caves in this mountainous area. Eventually you'll find a cave with a chest that'll give you the blueprint. Now in the blue portal, go northeast until you find a troll looking into a building. Finish that quest. After getting the blueprint and the recipe from the girl with the troll, you're going to be able to start to do the last challenge. Just build everything that it says. It's like any other blueprint, you got to build it. And for the last challenge, so where the first giant was, not the second one, the first one, you will find a giant cave. You are tasked with crafting 15 blue blocks, and you just put the blue blocks in that cave. You're gonna have to put them in a slime pattern. You do that, the door will open, you go through it, you get the slime memorial, you're done. You do not have to craft it, you just needed the recipe. Congratulations. So Act 4, final act. The one of the challenge makes you beat the Dragon Lord without using the legendary armor. You are allowed to use the legendary weapon in the first part. Now do not do the mistake that I have done. When you beat the first part of the Dragon Lord fight, don't spam X. Because if you do, you're going to go through the dialogue where he's going to ask you to join him. You're going to say yes, you're going to trigger a game over, making you having to do the whole encounter over again. And also make sure that your legendary armor is not within your equipment gear. It is in your colossal chest. Don't do like me and have to do it a second time. Yes, this was frustrating me at this point. You do that and you're good. Put all the legendary armor in the colossal chest and you're fine. So for the next challenge, you are going to need a shovel and gather 2 of each flower. That is the white one, orange one, and the red one. The white ones are everywhere. The orange one is a drop from an orange slime, and the red one is a drop from the Draggies. Those cute little bad guys that you've always ignored because they didn't drop anything worthwhile. With all the flowers in hand, go back into the original portal area you started in and go south. You're looking for this giant slime structure. Go see the slime, do what he wants you to do, and you're done. From the original base, head northwest and look for the structure again and do the same thing. The next one is in the red portal, northeast, do the same thing, find the structure, do what he wants. Now after getting the 3 memories, go into the Dragon Lord realm with the rain bow and find the Dragon Lord's lair. When you find the lair, turn around, you're going to see the giant slime structure, do what he wants you to do, and you did all the challenges within Act 4. Congratulations. Okay, so that wraps up the worst trophies in the game, the ones with the long list. Now we're just gonna go over through these passive ones super quick, just in case you guys missed them. But you're gonna need to, 1, complete 10 blueprints, placing 3,000 objects, smashing 3,000 objects, defeating 2,000 monsters, using the crafting station 500 times. Those are all the passive ones. You should get these without worrying. And now for the other trophies that are a little bit different, not part of the challenges, but you might have to go out and get them. Obtain 8 accessories. This might sound a little bit long, but it's super easy. I'm gonna give you guys another reference in the trophy guide, and if you're missing anything, just look at the reference. I got them in chapter 2 just by building those rings, and everything was okay. Another one is to do 50 different room recipes. This is pretty simple. I thought this was going to be way worse. You're just going to have to look at this guide here and look at the room recipes that you have not completed and then make them. Just go through the list, do as many as you can, and then once you get the trophy for it, you're good. Another one is to eat 20 different foods. If you go through your cooking recipes in your cooking station, craft everything that's new, eat it, and you should have this no issue. And now for the last trophy, which for me, I saved this for last on purpose. I always do that with my trophy guides. Enemy miner. Basically, you need to kill 8 enemies with 1 wrecking ball, which is the explosives from chapter 1. So reload your chapter 1 save. Go to the forest with all the Drakis. Build a hole like so. Gather the enemies. Trap them in there. They're not going to be able to get out. Get more than 8, just in case some of them don't get hit. Blow it up. And congratulations, you got the platinum trophy for Dragon Quest Builders. And that then concludes our platinum journey. Like I said, this game isn't so challenging. It's pretty fun to do. It's a nice little shopping list of trophies you're gonna have to get, and I really enjoyed it. And like I said before, this game in terms of completion, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's super relaxed, super chill, so you guys should have a great time. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is the first time I do these kinds of video. I know I have a lot to improve with these videos, so I'm gonna try and do it better next time. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next trophy game, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next review. So see you guys there.